Welcome, everybody, to the Success Elevated podcast. As always, I'm your host, Hayden Lee, and I'm joined by a very special guest this week. One of our very own here at Spot On Solutions, Melissa Hartley. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
I'm very excited to have you on. Melissa, you've worked with Spot On Solutions for a little while now.
Yeah, almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in just like 2 or 3 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk. We've got kind of a main topic we wanted to talk about today. We're going to kind of do a few more of these Spot On Solutions talks. Mm-hmm. Did one a few weeks ago with Sierra. We talked.
It was great. I listened to that one.
We talked about social media. So we have a topic we want to talk about today. But first things first, I want to get the audience get to know you a little bit. Okay. So you've worked Spot On Solutions for about 4 years. What did you do before that?
I worked retail before that. And so I was a retail manager.
Everybody's favorite industry, right?
Yeah, I've done basically anything you can do in retail. I've done it. And I did it for a very long time. So this was a nice change of pace, not having to work on the weekends, getting holidays off.
Yeah.
Really good. But I feel like I had a lot of transferable skills that came from the management side of working retail that just easily translated over to managing a PPC account on a daily basis. So.
Well, like customer service, right? Like, I mean, retail, like you're doing that every day, dealing with grumpy customers, dealing with nice customers, right? Like it's just learning how to deal with people, and that's what we do. Well,
even the numbers too. Yeah, so like I was checking numbers hourly and like making pivots hourly, like how are we going to hit sales? And so transferring that knowledge over to PPC and pay-per-click ads and
totally works.
It works really well.
So you made the jump over here, Spot On Solutions. Mm-hmm. How have, I haven't been here at Spot On Solutions as long as you have, but how have I know even in the last, since I started working here, things have changed, like just with how Google works and everything. Being here 4 years, you've probably even seen a little bit more of that. So like, how is your job role as an account manager or, social media manager, whatever it might be? How has the internet changed over the last 4 years?
It changes quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about it. So when I first started, local service ads was just like a little baby. Like it was just starting out.
Yep.
Nobody really knew what it was yet. I didn't know what it was. And then now I'm like an expert on it, and that's crazy. But it was just starting out, and nobody knew how it was going to perform, what it was going to do. And now we have all this data on how well it works. So it's crazy.
Local service ads is a big one. It's a huge part of what I think it's a thing that a lot of our clients often miss too, is it could be a big part of your business. Mm-hmm. It can really help you is just taking up more real estate on the internet.
Definitely.
So, the big topic that we wanted to get into today was Google Business Profile. We did kind of that roundtable. We talked a little bit about it a few weeks ago. I wanted to dive into it a little bit further and talk about how it can affect and what all it touches of your marketing assets on the internet, but also how do you deal with reviews? How do you get more reviews? Mm-hmm. All of those types of things. So let's just first kind of describe a little bit Google Business Profile. Like we had a roundtable a few weeks ago if you missed that, but Google Business Profile is essentially the listing of your business on Google. Mm-hmm. So you start a business, you want to get found on the internet. The first piece of that is this free tool called a Google Business Profile. Everybody should have one. All of our clients have one. You kind of can't exist on the internet without one.
Yeah.
What would be, I mean, there's so many things we can really dive into here, but the first thing that I always think of with Google Business Profile is you've got to get reviews. Why are reviews, especially Google reviews on the internet, so important?
They're important because people who want to make a purchase, whether it's a product or a service, they want to see social proof before they buy into that. Yeah. Whether it's on Amazon, whatever they're buying, they want to see that people have rated that product or service and that it's going to do them good. They want to see that.
Social proof is a great description of it. I always, marketing and marketers talk a lot about funnels. Reviews are a great, in my opinion, kind of that it's like that important middle of the funnel realm, right? So if you can picture a funnel when you're talking about marketing and getting more customers to your business, top of funnel would be, running things like Google Ads or, making sure your website is built out correctly so that people can find you on the internet. But the middle part of that funnel help them make that decision, right? So they found you, but now they've got to make the decision whether or not to use your business.
It bridges that gap.
Right. Because obviously you're trying to get them to the bottom of the funnel so they make a purchase, whether you're selling tennis shoes or you're in the home service industry, which is what we deal with kind of on the day-to-day basis. That, we've got construction companies and plumbers and roofers and restoration contractors. Like, they're trying to get people to pull the trigger so that they can come help them with maybe a disaster.
And the reality is, when you search something, you're not going to get one result. It's not going to be like, here you go, here's your one thing, you just buy into this.
Yeah.
You're going to see multiple results, and that's how you choose between them. It's not, coming in first is amazing. It's great. You're going to have higher chance of getting a click, but the conversion comes down to sometimes those little things like social proof.
Yep. Social proof, like reviews and all that stuff. I know, me personally, if I was, I always use the tennis shoe example, but if I was searching for a pair of tennis shoes, and maybe there's a company that pops up in the number one result, but they've only got 5 reviews or whatever, right? And then the company right next to them has 100 reviews and they're positive. You're going to choose that company, right? So it goes to the same thing. Obviously, you want to be ranking as high as possible. We want people to find you, but you've got to have reviews. That's like such a huge part of it. Before there's more we can talk about reviews, and I want to talk a little bit about it, like some strategy and things like that. But there's another piece that Google Business Profile that you mentioned before we even started recording. It really can tie into the organic ranking of your website. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what is organic ranking? Why does Google Business Profile have anything to do with organic ranking?
So what we were talking about is search engine optimization, which is SEO. If you might have heard SEO, that's what it stands for.
It's a buzzword. It gets thrown around a lot. Yeah.
So basically, Google is a search engine, right? And we want to optimize so that we can be found on Google. So one of the ways that we do that is with keywords. This works on other platforms too. Like TikTok is becoming really big on search engine optimization, putting your keywords and your hashtags and things like that. It's going to be the same thing, and you can do that with your reviews. So when you reply to a review, you can sneak in like a little keyword, mention the product or the service that you provided for them. Thank you for allowing us to
come and clean your carpets.
Come and clean your carpets, and maybe mention a city or something, or throw out things like best or near you, like we're happy to serve near you. Those are going to come up in the search results. When you type something in, it'll show up.
It's the same with, because a lot of people don't know this, but you can make posts on your Google Business Profile similar to social media, and it's good to have keywords in those posts. So like you mentioned, like, I do posting weekly for a few of my clients, and it'll be like, need your carpets cleaned in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Call us, or whatever, right? Or like whatever it might be. You want to make sure you have like a service in a city or town that you might, is in your service area. It's a great way to help increase the overall rank, because people are searching for those things. People are searching for carpet cleaning Minneapolis. And so we want to have as much content, obviously, on your website, but also in that business profile.
Your website content ties in to that, because I did a search today, for example, best carpet cleaners near me. And one of the results that came up was a Google Business Profile, and it said their website mentions best carpet cleaning.
Oh, wow.
So it will read your website too, and you'll show up for that as well.
So you mentioned responding to reviews. It's a big one that I think you've got to have reviews. So you want to have as many 5-star reviews, get good reviews. That's important. But why do people even need to care about responding to the reviews?
So responding to reviews does a couple things, right? So when we're looking at people we want to work with, you might be choosing between 2 companies that have very similar ratings and very similar volume of reviews. One thing that might stand you apart is if you're replying to those reviews, if you're engaging with your community. That's your community right there. So replying back to them and responding to bad reviews as well. We want to see that you are connecting with people when something goes right and when it goes wrong.
Because you're going to get a bad review.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people just expect to only have 5-star reviews. And if we lived in a perfect world, we'd only have 5-star reviews on our profiles. But you're going to get bad reviews. They're going to happen. It might not even necessarily be your fault. It might not be anything that you could have done to fix that. But what you can do is respond to it. A lot of times we'll tell our customer or our clients, like, respond to a review no matter what, and try and make it sound, or, not make it sound, because most of the time they've done this, but state what you did to try and fix the situation. Because people are going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, this company has 35-star reviews and they've got one star. Why do they have that 1 star?
Yeah, they're going to investigate.
They're going to go look at that 1-star review. And if you haven't said anything and it says this company was crappy and they didn't clean my carpets and they did a horrible job, and if you don't respond to that, like, they're going to be like, oh, maybe they aren't as good as I think they are, right? And it can affect that big time. So you want to try and respond to them and say something like, hey, we tried to clean the carpets. They were much dirtier than you originally said. So respond in a way that makes it sound like, hey, we did our job. We came in. We tried to fix the situation. We apologize. You can apologize in the response, like whatever you feel like is appropriate, but make sure you respond to even the negative reviews. Mm-hmm. It's hugely, hugely important. When responding to negative reviews, have you seen, I've even seen my clients' customers will even respond back and be like, hey, thanks for the response. I had no idea. And we'll sometimes even pull the review down, right?
I don't know about pulling the review down, but it's good to respond, even if, this is an opportunity for you to grow, right? Because
more than anything,
maybe you're finding out something that happened that your text didn't tell you about, and you can now fix it and become a better company because of it.
Yeah, there might be something in the situation, you weren't aware of. There's a million things that could be going on. It's a great way to hold yourself accountable, hold your team accountable, and ultimately grow, because you're going to get bad reviews. It happens to everybody.
Sometimes we get the occasional client who will say, I got a review, but this person didn't do business with us.
Yeah.
It's appropriate to respond to those as well. You can respond and say, hey, I don't see your information come up in our job log. Can you reach out to me so we can figure out like what job this is associated with, so we can fix it.
That's cool.
And that's going to show other users, because the important thing isn't, it's sad to say, the important thing isn't necessarily fixing what happened. It's showing other people that you are willing to fix what happened.
Yeah.
They're going to look at that and go, oh, you know what? They have really good stars. They maybe messed up one time. I can take that risk.
Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Anything else with regards to like business profiles? Anything else that you feel like, clients of ours or just people out there that are, maybe starting a business and building their own profile? Is there anything else that you think they really should know about how it can help them, or maybe some tips or tricks? What do you think would be good?
I'd also look into adding photos. Don't add stock photos, add actual before and after pictures. People, maybe not so much equipment, but people want to see the spaces before and after, that transformation of, I'm going to help you. I'm going to fix this water damage job. It's going to be amazing when we're done.
Photos is good. I always, this is kind of more website, but I feel like it applies here as well, because it's going to help your ranking. But have pictures of you and your team. Have pictures of your vehicles, right? Like, have those on your profile so people know who's going to show up, what your business is going to look like. If maybe you don't have a truck wrapped yet, but you want to make sure that people know, okay, hey, this is the company that's going to show up in my house. This is what the people look like. This is what they're, this is what John and he's wearing a polo of your company, right? Like, it's helpful for them to see, okay, these are real people. That this is who's going to come to my house. Don't use a stock photo. If you're part of a franchise system, don't use the franchise's stock photos, right? We've seen them all before. Try and get you, yourself, and your team, with shirts with the logos on, or vehicles with the wraps on, something so that people know, hey, this is who's going to show up to my business.
Yeah, and there's actually categories for those photos. You can sort them into different categories. So there's different ones for like equipment and employees and the location. So you can add a lot of variety there.
It's cool. We're always looking to try and be a little bit better. This is on the topic, but I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. But we're trying to get better at our jobs here at Spot On Solutions. So we're implementing a tool. I won't say the name or anything, but it's something that we're trying to implement for us to better optimize Google Business Profile. What this tool allows us to do is see how your profile ranks in certain areas. So it allows us to see, what number is your profile ranking in, maybe right where your business is located, but also in kind of the surrounding areas. I'm excited about this tool that we're using, this software. It allows us to build better profiles and help us know what areas do we really need to focus on. Because, hey, maybe we're focusing on areas that you already rank well in, and we need to rank better in some other spots, right? So I'm really excited. I don't know. We had a meeting about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I think what's cool about this is it will give you a little number.
Yeah.
So you can see, okay, like in this area, maybe I rank 6, but over here I rank 1. So now you can identify like, okay, well, in this city, I'm ranking lower. Maybe I can plug those keywords into my responses, into my posts, so that I start ranking higher in that area.
Yeah. I like to give the example, we live here in Southeast Idaho. So our home base is in Blackfoot. So maybe our business is ranking really well, number 1 in Blackfoot, but a city that's just down the road, Idaho Falls, where, that number 6. So I'm going to respond and say, hey, thanks for letting us come clean your carpet in Idaho Falls. Thanks for letting us come, fix the water damage in your basement in Idaho Falls, right? Saying stuff like that in responses, in posts will help us better identify areas that we need to focus on and how we can improve those areas.
Right. And I think, speaking of that, one thing that came to mind is there's a Q&A section also on your profile. Somebody has to ask a question, but you could go in and ask a question and respond to it and put in your frequently asked questions, but use that as a way to get more keywords out there. So what areas do you serve? Answer that question.
Yeah.
And then there you go. It's on your profile. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's something that I think we all just got notifications about the frequently asked questions.
I don't think enough people are using it.
No.
I think it's kind of tricky to find. It's not like a big thing, but I think when you're looking at somebody's listing, there should be a little link that says ask a question. And that's what you would do, is ask the question and then respond to it.
Further proof that Google's changing all the time, and even us as marketers who are in this stuff all the time, there's new stuff for us to learn every day so that we can, try and do a better job for our clients. But really, really cool. Thanks. There's been some good information here. There's so much to Google Business Profile, and it's so funny because it's a free tool that is just provided, but it's so integral to everything we do. It's important for your Google ads. It's important for Google guaranteed LSA stuff. Yeah. It's important for your website. It's such a crucial part of your business. If you're starting a business, whether any industry, service industry, you're selling tennis shoes for the, better example. I don't know, but whatever you're doing, have a business profile, a Google business profile, because it's the number 1 search engine for a reason, and you've got to be on it. So
definitely.
Okay, Melissa. We're going to finish up with the 3 rapid fire questions, but we're going to wrap up with those. First things first, favorite book or podcast that you're into reading or have read in the past? What do you like?
So I always go back to what I consider a classic, which is Harry Potter.
Okay,
I love Harry Potter. I collect the books, actually. So I have paperback versions. I have the illustrated versions, and then I have this pop-up version.
Oh, that's great. How many times? My wife's done it a bunch. She loves Harry Potter too. How many times have you read through the whole series?
It depends on the book.
Okay.
I've read some books multiple times and others only once or twice. And then we also have the audio versions, so we listen to them on car trips.
Oh, that's great. Cool. Second question. We all have long days as marketers and try and help our clients as best we can. What do you do to relax at the end of a long day?
I'm a gamer.
Okay.
I'm a cozy gamer. So I really like
cozy
Nintendo, Animal Crossing, Zelda.
Love it.
It's all good.
It's a great way. Gosh, it's been months ago, but Justin Sifford from Wylander, he came on and talked about having white space. He called it white space in your life. So having the ability to just go home and just shut your brain off and think about something that has nothing to do with what you've done all day, right?
Yeah.
And you're only focusing on that one thing. Yeah, it's video games. For me, I play video games a little bit too, but it's like fly fishing, something that you can just go home and just okay, I'm going to shut my brain off for the next hour and do nothing but that. And it's a great way to just like recharge.
It is.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
If you could rewind to the beginning of your career, either here at Spot On Solutions, or if you want to go back to the beginning of your career in retail.
Don't do it.
Don't do
retail.
Don't do retail. What would be one thing you would tell yourself?
I think I would tell myself to be more confident in my skills.
Love it.
And just go after what I want.
Love it. Confidence is key. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This has been an awesome episode. Melissa, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
We're going to do more of these. I really have enjoyed sitting down and talking with people that I consider peers, that are my coworkers, that we can talk about some topics that are important to what we do, that are important to our clients. And I hope to do a few more of these in the next coming months. So thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
This has been Success Elevated, making you a little bit better one show at a time. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe on YouTube or any other major podcast platform to listen to more episodes. We are proudly brought to you by Spot On Solutions. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you grow your business, please check us out at spotonsolutions.com.